We have an experimental patch, and I have to say that is a little bit of a surprise. It wasn't off the table. They certainly, in the last dev interview, talked about, oh yeah, maybe we could do something like that, but it didn't seem like they were particularly close. So we're going to have some interesting ones that we're looking at here. This is live now, by the way, at least based on what we're seeing here, and they're trying to lead it towards Overwatch 2, but no, it is not going to turn them directly into the Overwatch 2 heroes. Line up with the eventual transition to Overwatch 2. So first thing we're going to see is we've got Orisa with enough changes to call it a bit of a rework, we could say. Weapon spread has been removed, which is going to be a fair bit more accuracy from her. We've also got the maximum duration of her shield is down to 4 seconds, but the health is up to 1200. So we've doubled the health. We've brought the duration down to a fifth, but really more effectively, it'll probably feel like a third because bears tended to break anyways. That's a lot, but only up for 4 seconds that we're looking at there. And the cooldown has increased from 10 to 12 seconds. So damage upgrade, mitigation downgrade is what we're looking at here. And then pull radius increased from 5 to 7 meters. So that's her getting back the rest of the power that's lost in the barrier offensively. So we're looking at those huge halts again that are fun for comboing are a lot of offensive power. So we could see some stuff there. That said, she may struggle to move around a little bit. She doesn't have what she had in Overwatch 2 in terms of the spear spin to move faster to engage. So she's got the barrier, but the barrier doesn't give her that movement speed, and it's only going to last for 4 seconds. Okay. Then we move on to D.Va. Weapon spread reduced by 15%, so that's just more damage out of her. Fine. Reinhardt charge can now be canceled by pressing the ability input again. So we're bringing that right over. It's still not super control-y, super steery charge where you can go, hey, almost wherever you want, and it doesn't have the reduced cooldown either, but at least you can cancel it, which is absolutely, like they said, a step towards the Overwatch 2 hero. This is the change that they made on the beta in Overwatch 2, where he's getting his knockback back. He's had this level of knockback back on Wrecking Ball in Overwatch 1 before, and he was kind of the best tank when he had it. Now, other portions of the meta matter, specifically Zenyatta, who it looks like is getting some meaningful adjustments that may make him not the best tank this time, but we shall see. Plus, we have a wildly different Orisa. Bastion, weapon spread removed. That's just a straight Bastion up. I don't think that hurts anything too bad. We're talking about in recon mode, not in turret mode. I kind of like this for Cassidy, but I'd like this on Overwatch 2. I don't really like this on Overwatch 1 while he still has Flashbang, which is now grants 50% damage reduction for the 0.4 second duration of combat roll. That's fine with me. Damage reduction while he's rolling. He can't shoot while he's rolling after all, and it's not very long. You'll be able to do some things with it, like frame block certain things, like self-destructs if you're caught in the open for some reason. Though you really shouldn't get caught in the open if you have combat roll available. But I don't really like this damage reduction while he has his stun. I think if he got this damage reduction while he had his weaker sticky bomb, that would be perfectly fine, and this would have been a nice way to return some power to his kit. Sombra sees a damage increase from 8 to 9 on her primary fire, hack time reduced from 0.65 to half a second, hack duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds, and ultimate cost reduced by 15%. So I would look at this and say this is a net buff. It's obviously the more precise hacks like she has in Overwatch 2, much less precise than she has in Overwatch 2, but they are a shorter duration hack. They are faster to activate than they are currently, but she's also got a damage up that absolutely matters, an ult cost reduction that absolutely matters. This is a net up and a net noticeable up for Sombra, I expect. That said, she's historically not the most powerful ladder hero, and a lot of her up is coming from this ult cost reduction, which is still better in organized play than ladder. Doomfist, slam distance, increased from 15 to 20. Sure, he can go further. I'm not too worried about it. As long as his abilities aren't yet combined, he's still going to feel very different than his Overwatch 2 hero. Thera, now we have the reload now begins 0.3 seconds sooner when out of ammo. That's probably going to feel better. Concussive Blast now deals 30 damage on a direct hit, deals 50% additional knockback on direct hit targets. Okay, maybe that makes it a more interesting skill shot that you can do a little bit more with. It's definitely a net upgrade, even just looking at this part. Probably not going to wildly throw her into the meta or anything, but hey, that works out. We look over at this one more for Junkrat. We see that his weapon, his primary fire, has had the projectile radius increased from 0.2 to 0.25 meters. Okay, a little bit of an increase, bigger grenades that you're dealing with. And for his steel trap, it now comes out a little faster with projectile speed increased from 10 to 15. 50% increase in speed, but still probably not that big a deal. So these are buffs for sure. This could be annoying in lower level games, having his grenades that much bigger. I think it's not going to be that big a deal, though. Then we move on to Torb. We've got his primary fire, recovery reduced from 0.6 to 0.55 seconds, so a little faster fire rate. For his secondary, reduced from 0.8 to 0.7. So we're giving him a faster fire rate for his weapons. That's a buff. That's going to add up, sure. And then Zenyatta, who I don't know that I like this, linger duration reduced from 3 to 2 seconds on Discord. So when someone breaks line of sight with you behind a wall, Discord orb falls off after 2 seconds instead of after 3 seconds. That is going to feel so much better for tanks. That is going to feel so much better for people that want to peek him, but that's a pretty significant nerf to him. And then he's got Snap Kick, new passive added, quick melee deals 50% more damage and knocks enemies away. I don't care. Like this is kind of a meme change. The Snap Kick thing, what made him better on the beta wasn't really the Snap Kick, it was the plus 25 HP. They know it was the plus 25 HP, so this is sort of giving us the meme funny change. This is net a big nerf for Zenyatta, losing out on this here. So with these in mind, what would the experimental beta sort of goes towards, or what's good, what's bad? Well, our supports aren't really changing other than the fact that Zenyatta is getting dumpstered. Zenyatta getting dumpstered does hurt Dive's viability meaningfully. That would drag Wrecking Ball down a little. That would drag Tracer down a little in some things. Obviously, Tracer can function in other comps, so we'd want to keep that in mind. Torb with some more damage. Okay, Torb really mostly fulfills as an anti-dive hero. Junkrat, very spammy, got some ups. Doomfist, I don't really care about. Sombra got ups, okay, and she can fit into some things, but usually has seen dive. Cassidy, sure, this is absolutely a meaningful up, as is Bastions, but they're not like world changing. Wrecking Ball, again, with this patch or with this change, has historically been very strong, but if Zen is going to be this week, those two go together pretty well. They're pretty important together. I don't know that I would count on a Wrecking Ball Zen Tracer type meta like we've seen a lot of for the last year plus of Overwatch. I don't know that I would count on that for organized play. Or for ladder play with this Zen nerf. Obviously, this is only an experimental, but I'm just thinking about this patch. So, yeah, I don't really know that it's Orisa either. I think this is something where I look at this and say the best of these tanks is probably Wrecking Ball. Yeah, I probably do look at that. D.Va's certainly not hurting. D.Va's going to just be flat out stronger, and while you still have two tanks, you get to keep a permanent D.Va, so we'll probably see more D.Va compared to Sigma, even than we usually do. That's fine with me. I don't think this Orisa is quite going to work like this, but I'm ready to be wrong. This Halt buff is really strong here. So this is a fun one. I might expect Poke to be a little stronger. I might expect Brawl to be a little stronger. I think the Zen nerf is just too much, and that won't be helping Dive out. But that's how I view it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you go, hey, this is a great patch. This is fun. I hope they go live with it. Do you see something in here? Maybe like this Discord change and go, no, that can't stick. It would absolutely ruin the game. I hate it. Or is there some other change you would have made? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking Overwatch and Overwatch 2 content, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Temporal out.